At Net Zero in the United States, basically we're here in service of the advertising industry so the ad industry can better serve clients because there's going to be a big move, and there already has begun a big movement towards curbing and lowering carbon emissions.
How are we doing so far? It's early, but how's the industry? How would you grade the industry's progress?
The industry is not moving fast enough, would be what I would say. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't great things that are starting to happen, and we shouldn't lose sight of that. So of those great things, some are working really, really well. We need to double and triple down on those. Those that are working kind of well, we need to optimize them and fine tune them. And then some things, we've got to throw them away and we've got to pull in other things. So a lot of what's going on in the day-to-day life of Ad Net Zero, we have working groups that are focused on production and media, and they're up and running. But what's happening is that ideas, initiatives, starter guides, best practices, references, banks of case studies, they're all being propped up for two reasons. Educate more, and also start to begin to measure. And actually, we can begin to measure starting now. In production, we have a calculator. It's called AdGreen. We have reference guides, also from AdGreen, but also through partnership with Green the Bid in the United States. Fantastic. So there's measurement going on. We're onboarding the platform into the executive producer community within a lot of the US-based creative agencies. And guess what? We are already building a bank of case studies that is going to allow us in very, very short order, certainly by the end of this year, to have a baseline and to have a bank of data that shows where the carbon is sitting and how we can make smart switches. In the media world, also, by the end of the year, we're partnering with GARM. Again, this is not about Ad Net Zero. This is for the industry. We'll partner with anybody that can help move this snowplow down the road to pave the future. So GARM has come in, we're partnering with them. They announced this morning their first list of 10 things that you can do today based on their analysis of all that is out there in the industry, which we worked on together with them, which is great. We just came off the heels of working with the IAB Tech Lab that recently published their starter guide. We heard from Tony Katzer here this morning about that. So whether it's IAB in the States through Tony Katzer and that working group, which Ad Net Zero is proud to be a part of, or whether it's on a macro level, working closely with GARM to analyze and assess and evaluate what's out there, and then publish the initial guide around that, or in the production community with AdGreen, there's great things going on, but it's not nearly enough. We need to scale this, and we need to do more, because we can't wait. So it's okay to be more roughly right than precisely wrong. And so we just got to move out of the garage and move this thing forward in a sustainable way, of course, to make real progress going forward.
So the industry isn't moving fast enough. Is it an inertia thing? Is it a fear thing? What's kind of causing us to move slow?
Well, that's a great question. Honestly, we're not totally sure. We've got some research in the field. We're constantly, talking to the right stakeholders to find out what's really. I have a point of view on it. I think in the United States, we live in interesting times, to put it mildly. Society is incredibly polarized. Any issue, it could be what I had for dinner, or it could be, sustainability or climate action or the climate emergency. There are words that as soon as they come out of my mouth, they're going to elicit a response, perhaps from people viewing this video, or even people I talk to. And if I walk into a room and I say the words climate action, that room will divide into half. And that's just a reality. So part of our challenge is to create a narrative and a reason why, as to why, it is to get everybody on board and to level set as to why this is important and why action needs to be taken. We're doing this for, the advertising industry to get our own house in order, but we're not solely doing it for that standpoint. We're doing it because this industry serves big clients. And through history, the industry has come together and it's done amazing things. And we've seen in a pre-competitive kind of a way, when competitive industries, without sharing inside information, but tackling big issues where they can actually share, come together and make things happen in a big way, we're seeing it happen now, and it's needed now more than ever. But to answer your question, I think the polarization and the politicalization of the landscape in the U.S. is one thing. I think, we live in a time where everybody wants to be perfect, before they want to have a perfect strategy. Well, nothing is ever perfect. We've got to get more comfortable with being, I hate to, it's a buzzword, but it's true. We got to show progress even if it's not complete progress. We've got to take things where we're doing things well and putting the right runs on the board and doubling down on them, and and that's really kind of the name of the game.
So lastly, would you have any advice for that brand who is saying, I've been waiting for the perfect, I don't know where to get started, can you help me?
You can get started today. That's the beauty of it all. We've got scale now. The training wheels are off. We've got scale, and we're plugging forward to please contact us. Let us talk to you about ways that we can help companies on their journey, but more importantly, we can work with companies and put them on a pathway towards action. Action is the real key. So I invite any company that wants to learn more to engage, contact me. We need you. The industry needs you. You will find out soon enough that you will need this as well. Doesn't have to be us that supply it, but it's coming, it's here, and we want to work with you. So just contact me, and we'll have a good discussion, and then I'll explain why this is so important and what we can do for a company. To be clear, sometimes I get asked the question, like, well, what does it really mean to join AdNet Zero? We put folks to work. Part of signing up to AdNet Zero is not just, we're not checking a box here. We work with and identify key executives within an organization. We offer them and invite them an opportunity to join a working group. And those working groups on production, media, events and activation, they're up and running now. So executives join these working groups, we table big issues, and then we advance them and we will push them into the marketplace. That's how the system kind of works.